more than weeks.
Like you forget, and then you put your arm, and it's like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it kind of slips off. Like when somebody fixes his chair.
I assumed the arm was like his glasses. I knew the glasses story already. You were worried about them when you bought them.
Yeah.
You were like, I break these all the time. That's why she got me 5.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what you said. And so I show up to the office after a week off, and the arm is broken on the chair that we share. And I'm like, what did Tommy do?
Yeah.
He runs through chairs pretty quickly.
If I really
bull in a china shop.
I don't remember doing it, but you never know.
You never know. It might have happened. I don't know. In the normal course of events.
Yes.
I got a question for you guys. This is not the question of the day.
Okay.
Is the Jaguars offense taking it to a whole new level this year? Because there are a lot of signs out there, and I feel like this week in particular, there's a groundswell with some of the national stories being written about this team. Like, hey, don't look now. And even though there's question marks about the running back room, and no matter how Jaguar fans and how we feel about it, there are legitimate question marks about the running back room. I'm just seeing one story after another about how this team is poised to take it to a new level offensively this year. Is that the feeling that you have with the provided that they have good health with this year's team?
I mean, look, they what were they, 30-plus points a game for like 8-9 weeks in a row? Can they do that on a week-to-week basis for a full 17-game season? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, look, you look at that. That's a pretty good, study. 9 games or 8 games or whatever it was.
Decent sample size.
Yeah, good sample size. You could say, you could duplicate that for another half of the season, right? And roll that way. So if they do that, that's better, right? That means you're better. Taking it to another level, I don't know. What does that mean? Like 40 points a game?
No, but like
35?
consistently being that team from day one through week 18, being a team that is, let's say, challenging to be a top 3 scoring team in the National Football League.
Yeah, fair. Like, or being like they did last year, the last 8 games. If they did that for a whole season.
Well, if they did that, they'd be the number 1 scoring team in the league, right? Yeah. I mean, so I'm not saying they have to be that. I don't even have necessarily a benchmark. It's more like a feeling like this team is going to give you problems in terms of matching up, right? Yeah. In terms of the different looks they can give you if they can get the running game going. Because there were some bad metrics in the second half of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Liam Cohen, the Jags are not a pass-happy team. Liam Cohen's not a pass-happy offense corner. He really does. Yeah. And,
wants to be physical.
If you can do that, then you are throwing these physical tight ends out there that also have route running and pass catching ability, and that's when the mismatches occur, and you can take advantage of that. And obviously, you got a wide receiver core that maybe as deep as any team in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can look at the team and a lot of the things that we know they're bringing back, right? Like you got Jacoby Myers for half a season. We saw what that looked like. We don't know what Jacoby playing with Hunter looks like at all. Like we don't know what that's going to look like in the offense. We know that they prioritized what they did in the draft. I think I heard Denny on this morning with the drill, and they were asking him some questions along those lines. Hicken asked the question that was along the lines of why, are the Jaguars so worried about playing more, 2 tight end, 3 tight end looks? And it's not that they are. They know the league is. Yep. Because the response from defense for a while now has been get smaller, get quicker, get faster. That's how we're going to deal with all the athletes we see on the offensive side of the ball. So the offense's counter to that is, we'll just put the big guys back on the field, and they don't have big guys to match up with our big guys, so we can take advantage of matchups by doing it this way. But even with them doing that, they did it 22% of the snaps last year. Yep. They were playing in those 2 tight end looks. They were already doing it. They just weren't effective doing it because their second tight end didn't give them anything, especially when Strange wasn't on the field. So how much more effective are they going to be in those moments? I think goes a long way to answering if they are going to take another step in the offense, because we know what it looked like in the passing game. In the back half of last year, it's when they've obviously prioritized, we want to be able to run big personnel more effectively. When they do it, are they more effective doing it? It's going to answer the question of whether or not they are going to take another step in the offense.
Yeah, and also it begs the question, do we have 2 new starting guards? Do the young guys, Milam and Pregnon, become those more physical type players, part of the stink? It wasn't just the running back room. It's the guys up front, too. And are they going to be, guys that change maybe a little bit of the offensive line? We'll see. I don't know. Veterans, versus the young guys vying for jobs, starting
jobs.
You
earn it, they'll give it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we all look at that pair Milam and Pregnon as, hopefully the future, 2/3 of the interior of the offensive line for a long time to come. Right? At least the next half decade.
Yeah.
And if they don't win starting jobs, then I'm going to believe it's because they think that Ezra Cleveland and Patrick McCary are getting it done. Right?
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
If you've got 4 options that, 2 guys that have played a ton, 2 guys that have a lot of promise, whichever 2 emerge on a coaching staff like Tony just said that they showed you they're going to play the best guys, I think they're going to be pretty good at that position group. And if Hainsey stays healthy, I think the interior of the offensive line is pretty good. How good? Well, we'll look at what some national writers are saying about this team from a very positive standpoint. And there's just been a groundswell this week of this kind of stuff. The Jags, do they have the best offensive ecosystem in the AFC? Ooh. CBS will tell you yes right now. So we'll get into that. The Athletic weighing in on this. Sports Illustrated is weighing in on this. And we'll get to all this stuff today. RJ Saunders is along. Good morning, RJ.
Morning, boys. What's the haps?
How are you?
Doing all right.
Get your in-between show nap in. Were you able to get like 90 seconds of shut-eye?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you all right? Are you all right? Can you put your hands up? Can you see me?
You got the 8 count. Gotcha. All right. Just checking him once again.
Walk towards me.
He mentioned that yesterday. He still got me with that
as Rocky would say, take the full 8.
That's right.
All right. Here is our question of the day presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. We're asking you just as an overall, what's the minimum level of accomplishment that the Jacksonville Jaguars need to have in 2026 in order for you, the listening audience, whoever's hearing this, to consider the season a success? You can define that any way you want. We're looking for your definition today, though. You can hit us up and interact with the program in a variety of ways. You can stream us on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Might want to ding that a few times, wake the old people up. Or on Facebook. Also on the 1010XL and 92.5 FM apps, 1010XL.com. Listen on the radio, which is fantastic.
Radio.
Whoa!
We're in tune musically.
That was an easy one. Yeah.
But the tubes.
Tom asked me this morning who sings "She's a Beauty." I'm like, the tube sings "She's a Beauty."
Yeah.
That
I just remember the video.
That is one. Yeah, that was it was kind of a weird video.
It was, but the woman was hot in it.
Yeah, well, that's why you would remember the video. I get it.
Isn't that what we do as young men?
All right, and if you want to hit us up on the socials at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at RHas No J. And 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You have been informed on all the pathways to enjoy Jaguars today. Thank you, Tom. I do this for a living. I appreciate your support and advice and friendship. Let's come back and see what they're saying about just how good the Jacksonville Jaguars 2026 offense can be and how much better they expect it to be even than last year in some cases. We'll do that and talk Jaguar ball with you for the next 2 hours here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling home and auto easy. Learn more at progressive.com. Spain began this World Cup by being unable to score on Cape Verde, but 4 wins since, clean sheets in all 4, and the reigning European champs, ranked second by FIFA, will take on Belgium in a quarterfinal game today in Los Angeles. In the final game played in Foxborough, the fans there saw the two French stars score second-half goals 6 minutes apart, Kylian Mbappe and then Ousmane Dembélé. He was the one who had a first-half hat-trick in a game in group play, and he was the one named FIFA Player of the Year in 2025. France, who beat Morocco 2-0 in the 2022 semifinals, beat Morocco 2-0 in the 2026 quarterfinals, and now it's on to this year's semis for France, Tuesday against the winner of today's game in L.A. Quarterfinal games tomorrow in Miami and Kansas City. Those semifinal games will take place in Dallas and Atlanta. John Stashauer, Westwood One Sports.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Imagine this, you and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, coming to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
The Golf Club at Southampton is super excited for what's next, and that's brand new greens and plenty more to add to your golfing experience. While renovations are underway, you can still come out, hit the practice area, and keep your game sharp. Plus, Thursday night trivia, always fun, and music on Friday nights on the patio. Check it all out at golfsouthampton.com or their Facebook page. Membership opportunities right now where you can take advantage of a great deal before the renovation is complete. Call 287-PLAY and check out the latest from the Golf Club at Southampton.
What is the sunniest U.S. city? The answer next.
Just letting your homeowner's insurance renew each year may cost you money. Shop around and you may find a better plan. Let Southern Oak Insurance give you an option at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Yuma, Arizona tops a new ranking of the sunniest U.S. cities. Over 4,000 hours of sunshine every year.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Oh, it's a promise made perfect, gang, and it comes from Chad and Sandy. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. They have the largest pool of buyers in the area. Their home selling program is designed to maximize your sales price. No long-term contracts, no costly repairs. You're in complete control. You need to sell now. Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. And they deliver on this promise. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. They're the local real estate experts I trust and recommend. No required repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts you can cancel at any time. Marine on Pace Island and Fleming Island. I needed to downsize to a single-story home, but my house in Pace Island had been sitting on the market for 158 days. Heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, gave them a call. Their strategy generated multiple showings. Day 2, my home sold. Full asking price, $449. It can for you, too. Go to chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
You know, it's like people blast Born in the USA around July 4th.
Right.
And don't realize that Bruce Springsteen's talking about how poorly Vietnam veterans were treated. And that's what the song is about,
It's not
right?
the most patriotic thing.
Right. It's not this super patriotic song. He's like screaming, hey, I was born in the USA. Why are you treating me like this? Right. Yeah. So my wife, once upon a time, I was explaining to her this song. It's about, guy going to a peep show and sees the girl behind the glass at the peep show. And she liked the song up until then. Oh, that's what it's about?
Yeah, but it was a paid peep show. It wasn't like out in the neighborhood.
Everyone,
I mean?
No, there was no human trafficking going on.
No,
there was
just a
all
harmless
above
little,
board.
hey, take a peek.
It was body positivity for the 1980s.
Right.
Is what was
Good
happening.
Good job, RJ.
Thank
That's
you,
a good
RJ.
producer right there.
All right, so let's jump right into it here on
Let's.
the Jacksonville Jaguars' potential offensive breakout. And it all begins with the raw material, right? RJ, you got that clip from Steve Palazzolo, right, from PFF? He's still with PFF, I believe. Is that correct, right? And he and his co-host on their podcast were talking about the Jags and Travis Hunter, and specifically. They're kind of going through the draft and taking a pick by pick from last year. What happened? What did they expect? How did it work? So after about 9 minutes of conversation, he kind of summed it up, and we'll play the clip for you right now.
I think they were genuinely on the right track by the end of the season, Yep. I think they made missteps on the offensive side of the ball by trying to just integrate him into this sort of gimmick role. I think by the time he went down, they had figured out a better solution than that. And then I think he'd already shown that he could be a decent corner for them. I just want to see him make it through a season and not get hurt. And if we get that, I think we will see some version of a two-way player playing at a pretty high level, which is exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the plan is and how they're looking to deploy him. I'd like to see him play a little bit more corner. And then, like I said earlier, I think the receiving core is so deep that you don't have to force it. But I think that's what's going to be tricky about the evaluation for the Jags is the offense got better without Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just, Hunter left, we got better. They got Jacoby Myers in there. The whole offense settled down. Trevor Lawrence played the best ball of his career. He was just, hey, Jacoby Myers this week, Parker Washington next week. Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't being force-fed. That trio can be excellent with three different skill sets. Then you drop Hunter in there, and you could make the argument that top four is the best top four, group of receivers in the NFL if they're all playing to their potential. But that's an if, because we've seen Brian Thomas Jr. play better 2 years ago. We've only seen 1 year of Parker Washington. Myers has always been pretty dependable, but he was like extra dependable for the Jags last year. And then Hunter, he's a what if. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And look, I thought that was very complimentary in total. When he talked about they kind of used him on the horizontal stuff, they started the year out trying to let's get the ball in Travis Hunter's hands, right? We don't want to overload him with all this. But their point was, look, everybody almost universally thought he was the best receiver in the class, just as a receiver last year. And if he's that, you didn't need to spoon feed him as much. You could have asked him to do more, but you've got that. You got Jacoby. You got Parker. By the way, saw the stat, and it's not a new one, but I was looking at something on PFF, and they had a little short video. The only receivers with more contested catches than Parker Washington last year, Puka Nacua, Michael Wilson of Arizona, and George Pickens. They're all over 6 feet tall.
Yep.
Pickens is got arms from here to next week.
Yep.
And Parker Washington's 5'10".
Yeah.
And can go high point the ball and make all these contested catches. But you're saying right there, they might have, and I don't know I can't name a better potential fourth receiver than, and you can list them in any order you want. What team's got a better fourth receiver than the guy you'd list fourth? Now, you can argue, would you rather have a Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams combo or something like that, then have it 4 deep where nobody is as good as one of the top 2.
Yeah.
And provided they stay healthy, that is, probably the side I would take. I'd probably take the 2 Pro Bowl, all-pro level guys. But it feeds into the Jaguars' ecosystem. And Tony pointed this one out to me on CBS 2 days ago. They put out NFL offensive infrastructure rankings, okay, where they rated them. And I wish, Tone, they had done this for every team and shown you the grades individually. Yeah. But they graded on a scale of 1 to 5, play caller, obviously Liam Cohen, offensive line, pass catchers, running back. So that's everything around the quarterback. This is not even including the quarterback. So these are just the pieces in place to make the offense work. The top 4 teams in the National Football League, according to their grading system, Tier 1, the Rams, who averaged 4.45, the Bears, the same. They were tied for the top spot. Then the Lions and Cowboys were at a 4.4. This is on an average. Okay. The Jags were the next highest. I'm sorry, San Francisco came in at 4.2, but in the next tier. The Jags were the next highest at 6th overall at 4.05, which is the highest rated team in the entire AFC.
AFC, yeah.
And what they said about them, they ranked this highly on the list, and this might be surprising at first glance, but it speaks to how well they were able to play last season. Liam Cohen established himself as one of the best play callers in the NFL. The offensive line is an above-average unit. You agree with that?
No. Okay. I think they're an average unit. I don't think they're below average.
I think they're probably
That's
average
fine.
with a chance to be better than that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that here is an impartial outside group thinking that offensive line's pretty good, right? And sometimes we're close to it and we pick the flaws and all that kind of stuff. We also see the positives that that people miss as well.
Look, I'm sorry to cut you.
No.
Look at last year. There were games where Trevor was totally clean. They had a great running game. There were games last year where they had no running game. They were getting shut down, no movement at all, and Trevor just took over and was running and throwing the football. So they weren't bad, but they weren't great either. Above average, maybe, I don't know. Maybe a slight below above average.
It's hard to know with I can't compare all 32 teams on the offensive line.
I can't. Right.
Like,
I don't try to. I don't even try to. I just know what looks good, what looks effective. There have been plenty of years the Jaguars couldn't, push your way out of a wet paper bag, so to speak. Sure. I don't think that's the state that they're in right now.
From a 30,000-foot level, you could be like, that team's known for a good offensive line. You might not know who the exact players are.
You could also look at the game against Seattle where their front seven dominated in that game.
That's right.
Right? And that's the standard you got to get to because that's the Super Bowl champ. They continued. The pass-catching core has incredible depth beyond almost any team in the league, which dovetails with what PFF is saying, and still has a potential star in Brian Thomas Jr. if he can rediscover his rookie year form. The running back duo is only average, but the Jags' strength in other areas makes up for it. How high could they possibly have graded the running back core? Right? I mean, really?
Right.
Because, to go back to PFF, I know you guys talked about it a little bit yesterday on Helmets and Heels. They ranked Chris Rodriguez as the starter and ranked him 31st out of 32 potential starters in the National Football League. And then there was kind of like a long honorable mention column, and there was no mention of Bashal Tutin.
Right.
So the perception of the Jags running back room is not great. And I understand it. It's not proven much of anything, right, in the National Football League. So that the fact that grade is probably pretty low makes me wonder, how highly did they grade Liam Cohen? Is Liam Cohen and the pass-catching group both a 5? I mean, is it Liam Cohen?
Doing math, you would say yes.
If you throw a 5 on Liam Cohen and say he's as good a play caller as there is, or a 4.75 or whatever, I don't think many people would bat an eye at that right now.
No, I don't think so either. And look, throw in Trevor with the way he started running the football and throwing the football. I mean, the 29 touchdowns through the air and then another 9 on the ground. That's 38 scores from your quarterback. That's pretty awesome. So he'd have to be up there too, I would imagine. Look, I think perception is, because if you look at Bashal Tutin's numbers, right, 3.7 yards a carry last year, you're like, that's nothing. That's terrible.
No.
That's terrible. But now on the flip side, you look at Travis Etienne last year, junior, and he was at 4.3, which is from the outside, you're like, wow, that's really good. And then when you look at it game to day, you're like, yeah, he was really good in the first half, but there were a lot of games in the second half. He was shut down. I mean, 2-point yards a carry, 3-point yards a carry. It wasn't until like the Tennessee game that he went off a little bit. Now, what do we last remember of the running backs, including Tootin, was the playoff game. And he ripped off 3 runs or 4 runs that were really outstanding, cut it back, got 11, 12, whatever yards.
And then they never went to him again.
They never went to him again. So when you look at it from afar at 3.7, you're like, eh. When you look at it from up close in person, you're like, yeah, 3.7, but man, look what he did at the end there. If we can get that going, that's going to change some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of it does, though, depend on, are they right in their vision on Chris Rodriguez? And Tootin and LeQuint Allen obviously are part of that. But Chris Rodriguez, when you look at it in this context, PFF ranking the starting running backs, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, call him Bill if you know him well, he came in 30th. He kept Chris Rodriguez off the field a lot last year. So you say, well, he's better than Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Well, the Commanders didn't think so.
No.
And Krosky-Merritt led the team in rushing last year. And again, that doesn't mean they didn't find the hidden gem, and Liam Cohen knows what Chris Rodriguez brings because he coached him in college and all that stuff. But it doesn't mean it's going to work.
Right. And if the story is true, they pivoted to Chris Rodriguez after they lost out on
J.K. Dobbins. Right. But the story was also that had the Broncos lost J.K. Dobbins, they were going to pivot to Chris Rodriguez. That was part of the same story. Yeah. So they both felt like they were similar kind of guys for the role. And keep in mind, Jags have that right now, let's call it the 3-headed monster in the backfield, right? Well, you got J.K. Dobbins. They drafted R.J. Harvey at 60 last year, and they drafted Jonah Coleman this year.
That's right.
So they're looking at it, those two teams, it feels like kind of a similar approach. Whatever we need now, we've got a guy that can give us that.
Yeah.
And, they added Jalen Waddle to beef up their pass-catching core.
Yeah.
And again, we've talked about the Jags pass-catching core. Haven't even gotten to Brenton Strange.
Let me ask you this question, and maybe we don't know the answer, but if Travis Hunter doesn't get hurt, do we trade for Jacoby Myers?
I think no.
No.
Well, I think less likely. I can't say definitively, but I think it's a less of a likelihood. Now, again, you look at that game, most of his damage came when the Rams had that game put away, right? Yeah. So how, we look at that and we're like, hey, 100-yard game, breakout game.
Right.
And, so would he have built on that consistently?
Yep.
Nobody knows.
We don't know.
We don't know. Right. All right, so let's continue on this theme. ESPN ranked all the tight ends or the top tight ends in the National Football League. And, look, I get it. Brenton Strange doesn't have eye-popping numbers, but I was a little surprised that he didn't fare a little bit better in the polling of executives, coaches, scouts that ESPN's been doing position by position. SI on the best offensive and defensive coordinator combos in the National Football League. It all comes together here is to say the Jags offense, if they get that contribution from the running game, at least equal to what they did last year, this thing could be maybe the best we've seen in Duval in franchise history.
Awesome.
All right, we got a lot to get to. Stick around. Tom McManus is here. 641-1010 gets you on board. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, owned and operated by my friends, the Thompson family, for now 70 years, since way back in 1956 when Dandy was founded as a Jacksonville-based company, and they're still going strong. Back in 1956, get a sandwich maybe for 25 cents right there at the counter for a ham and cheese. Lots changed since then. Yeah, the prices have gone up a little, but Dandy is still a great value compared to almost any other lunch or dinner option going out there. And did I mention they have a full breakfast menu as well? Whether you like the classic Cuban made with authentic Cuban bread, maybe a delicious home-style cranberry chicken salad, or like me, just the classic tuna salad sandwich. Dandy has got great options for everybody with their sandwiches and subs and their full menu of pick-me-up on-the-go items. Easy, convenient, high quality, great variety, great pricing. Dandy. That's the name to know, folks, when you're hungry in Duval. So when you are, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Nothing says all-American like a great meal and a great deal. MyGate Rewards members. Grab any Roller Grill favorite, Lay's brand chips, and an ice-cold Pepsi or Gatorade, all for just $5.50. The all-American meal deal only at Gate. See store for details.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Registration is now open for the Alive Credit Union Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $300,000 in cash prizes across all tournaments July 11th through 18th, including a 28-foot contender in the Kingfish Tournament or a huge cash payout in the Beach Tournament. The Redfish Tournament is back too. Lady and junior anglers are always welcome, and spectators can enjoy exhibits, food, and kids' activities all week. Register at kingfishtournament.com.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Jacksonville, get ready to wake up your American idiot. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra brings the explosive music of Green Day with a live symphony to the Florida Theater July 18th. It's Green Day like you've never heard before, performed by an all-star rock band and symphony orchestra. One night only, July 18th at Florida Theater. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com.
Joe C here. Want to win pizza from Tony D's, wings from Mr. Chubby's, or tacos from Taco Lou? How about chocolate from Peterbrook? All you have to do is tell us more about you by filling out the 1010 listener survey at 1010xl.com. What kind of vehicle do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010xl.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
I've owned a home long enough to know one thing. The little problems you ignore almost always become the expensive ones. That small plumbing leak, the septic tank you've been meaning to pump, the air conditioner that's making a funny noise. July is the perfect time to take care of it. So right now, save $250 on a whole home repipe or redrain, $50 on any septic service, and $500 on a new AC system from Duck Duck Rooter. Honest service, upfront pricing, no surprises. When you're stuck, call Duck Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Step into Twin Peaks and you're in the lodge. Warm wood, roaring TVs, and the kind of energy your living room wish it was. Wings, burgers, ice-cold 29-degree beers, and a vibe that keeps you planted for the final buzzer. ET here for Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. In the middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, so Jags draft got criticized, and a lot of the pushback against that criticism was, oh, you're a fantasy guy, right? You're not understanding the nuance of the game, what Borkacher is going to do to open up this offense, for instance, right? Just because he doesn't have big, gaudy receiving numbers, right? And I get that criticism, right? That you're not looking at it as a whole. Well, ESPN is doing their positional rankings, different spot every day. You would think executives, coaches, and scouts are looking at the full body of what you bring to the table, right?
You would think. Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
Yet, the top 10 list of tight ends reads like the average draft position that they're going off in fantasy.
Yep.
With a few exceptions, a few moves around. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that all they're voting on is offensive production. And Brenton Strange is not going to give you big numbers because he hasn't given you big numbers yet. But I would think that these guys, these scouts, these coaches would appreciate, here is a beast on the edge that is just taken the soul out of defensive players. I mean, Kittle, I'll put him up there. I mean, there are certain guys. I'm not saying that alone vaults him over everybody, but top 10 tight ends. Brock Bowers, he's going number 1 in fantasy.
Yeah.
Trey McBride, he's going number 2 in fantasy.
Yep.
Kittle went number 3 in fantasy many years, but he's been hurt.
Right.
So he's going a little bit later now. Sam Laporta, he's probably going about 6th right now.
Good player.
Tyler Warren is going right about at this ranking among tight ends. Tucker Kraft at 6.
Another
Again,
good player.
right there. Colston Loveland's the guy who's a little bit lower, but he's only been in the league 1 year. He's going 3rd among tight ends. But again, in the top 10, Kyle Pitts, same thing. Kyle Pitts hasn't blocked anybody since he's been in the league.
That's right.
Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce limping into the number 10 spot right now. Honorable mentions, Dalton Kincaid, very gifted athlete, hasn't put it all together, partly due to injury. He absolutely can. I expect him to. And Dalton Kincaid? I mean,
no, right.
Pat Freiermuth is next. Doesn't belong in the top tier, but he's a playmaker. What? Really? Because Pittsburgh doesn't think so?
Right.
Cole Kmet. Same thing. Now, there's a good, he's more of a two-way guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake Ferguson, all on the offensive production. Harold Fana Jr., same thing. That's the next group of 5. Then you get into also receiving votes. TJ Hawkinson, Isaiah Likely, Dalton Schultz. Which GM, even for 1 year, forget for the next 5, is taking Dalton Schultz over Brenton Strange? I can't see it happening. Dallas Goedert, Aronde Gadsden, who had a nice, 3-game burst in the middle of his rookie season last year in terms of offensive productivity. Again, not known for being a physical blocker at all. Jawan Johnson, then finally the last guy who received any votes is Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just I found it interesting because I would expect that group that this is pulled from, Tone, to have a little bit more of a nuanced take on the position.
Yeah, I would like to know when the votes went in. When did he collect all this information? Because we know how people are. You see whatever's in your face. I do wonder if you had asked everyone about this kind of thing after he had gotten the deal, where Strange would be on the list. Because I think he would be higher. I'm not saying that he'd be in the top 10, but I don't think he'd be at the very bottom as the last 21st tight end being mentioned, right? I just don't think it would be that. It'd be oh yeah, Brenton Strange. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's the way most of the league would react to it is, oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and I do get that he's not a guy that's putting up gaudy offensive numbers, but that doesn't mean I don't think he can.
Right. Well, that's the thing. All these guys, you look at their target. I mean, they're like almost focal points of their offenses to a certain degree. McBride, are you kidding me? I mean, they go to him all the time.
Yeah.
Kittle, when healthy, I mean, he's a big part of that offense. I mean, Brenton just doesn't get the opportunities that he should be getting. And quite frankly, I think all 3 of us been saying for years since he's been here, every time you give him the ball, he makes a play, and then you don't give him the ball again.
Right.
This regime a little bit different. They're saying he's going to be a focal point. So it's that outside. They just look at certain things. If you really watch the Jags and watch Brenton Strange, you're like, man, that guy, given the opportunity, would be ranked in the top 5 of the National Football League or whatever that number would end up being. You know what I mean?
They talk about Brock Bowers, and second year in a row he came in at number 1, by the way. He's only been in the league 2 years. As far as route running, separation, zone instincts, yards after the catch, ability combination, he's better than the field in those areas. No mention of what else he does, which the position requires. So if you're asking who are the best pass-catching tight ends, I still have a bone to pick, but Brenton's only going to bump up a handful of spots.
Right.
But if you're talking about the best all-around tight end, which is what I think this is supposed to be identifying.
It doesn't doesn't feel like it is. Like Schultz, look, he's a good receiving tight end, but he's not blocking anybody. He ain't pushing anybody
and
around.
And at this stage, I don't know if he's more of a threat as a receiver. If you utilize Brenton Strange as much as Schultz gets utilized in the passing game and made that conscious decision to do that, and maybe we'll see that this year with the addition of Borkature, because that may be one of the primary results of going with the big packages.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Schultz had almost 50 more targets last year than Strange did in the offense.
They target him.
Right? He just gets the ball more.
Right.
And part of that is because the Jags have developed now a wide receiver core that, granted, they weren't all together at any given time last year, but there are always three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that now people are looking at and saying maybe the best four deep group in the NFL. We've heard that from multiple sources this morning.
Let's just play a game real quick. Do we have time? Take 4,000 yards. Say Trevor's going to throw for 4,000 yards.
Hold.
Okay.
Give us the layout, and then we'll talk about it when we come back.
And we can do 4,500, whatever the number is. Let's just say 4,000. How are those being divided amongst our targets?
All right.
Like, who's going to get what?
Let's talk about it when we come back here. Jaguars Today need a break. We'll wrap up hour number one straight ahead here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for DraftKings Live in all 50 states. Of course, that means right here in Florida. Win or go home. That's it. That's where we're at. The World Cup knockout round, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match. The DraftKings app now live in Florida, so no matter what time that game is kicking off, no matter how you're catching it, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Feel the roar and chase the wind to victory lane.
To the checkered flag. Who gets here first?
Sunday at Echo Park Speedway.
What an incredible finish.
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Stop!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Summertime is here, and that means it's grilling season. Now, before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street in Jacksonville. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Make Houston's Meat Company part of your weekend tradition.
Hey, gang, Prosser here again for my friends Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. To maximize price on your home, you need more than a sign in the yard. You need a proven expert with an aggressive marketing plan. That's why more homeowners are turning to Chad and Sandy Realty. Chad and Sandy's Market Max system is a proven plan. It's going to get your home sold fast for maximum price. You need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But this is bottom line. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required repairs, pick your move date, no long-term contracts. Just listen to Eric and Jason, brothers in Villa San Jose. After losing our parents, my brother and I were left with a family home to sell. After 196 days on the market with another agent, it just sat there. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, gave them a call, got full asking price less than 27 days. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your homes. Call Chad and Sandy today at 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD. Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
RJ's locked in this morning, man. All we got to do is think it, and he'll play it around these parts. All right, so Tom, I guess anything's possible, came up with a really good idea.
On a Friday morning.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
you know, as I started going through this here, you got to assign a number to Trevor Lawrence's passing yards, and then break it down throughout the receivers and running backs and tight ends and how that's going to be distributed. All right?
Okay. I only had 5 targets. How many did you have? Did you write them all down? I didn't include running backs. I guess I should.
I include everything.
Yeah,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, including like you know, the new rookies, you know.
Everything. I mean, how are you going to get the 4,500 yards?
Well, I got them out of 5. I got them hitting.
That's real bullish. Yeah.
Yeah, you said be bullish. I went with 5, but all right.
You went with 5,000.
No, I went with 5 players. Got them 4,500
5 players
yards.
getting to 4,500.
How many yards do you think Trevor Lawrence is throwing for this year?
No. At 4,500, I have 5 targets that get all the yards. So I guess I didn't include everybody.
Right, but if
that would be more yards.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to occasionally, you know.
Right.
Tim
You
Jones
go
always caught
first.
a pass every month.
You go first, and I'll rework the number.
Well, I'm reworking mine on the fly here too.
No problem.
This is not a perfect scenario.
Yep.
All right. I went with, and I started out with that 4,500 number. I may need to bump it up a little bit. I got 1,000 for Brian Thomas.
That's what I put on there too.
Right at 1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got for Brian Thomas, Tommy?
Well, I got to redo it. I had him at 1,200 because I only had 5 guys, but I'm going to say 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I got 950 for Parker.
I put it at 900.
900.
900 for me.
900. Okay.
Yeah.
I put it at 750 for Jacoby.
800.
800.
So the same between those two guys.
Yeah, between those two, we got 1,700.
Yep.
I had
yards.
800 for Jacoby.
Okay, same neighborhood.
Yep.
I put 400 for Travis Hunter.
450.
Okay.
I did 600.
600.
Yeah.
Okay. That for me, that got me to 3,100 right there.
Okay.
I put.
What about Strange? You do Strange yet?
I'm going to include him.
Okay.
I put 600 for Strange.
5.
8.
8. Wow. It's a lot.
Tight end?
I'm going to say, man, I had a number and I feel like it may be a little bit high. I'm going to go like 550 for the running backs
Combined.
Yeah, I put 300 for Tootin, and the combination of the 6 guys that we put here puts me at 3,950 total. So it's finding that other 550. Basically, I do kind of, it's hard to figure out exactly what that's going to look like, but maybe that means the other running backs get another 150, 200, and then all the remaining kind of ancillary options in the pass game, if they can cover another 250, that's about 45.
Yeah, that's what I have, like 250, 200, 250 and change for whatever's left. You know, the once in a blue moon Josh Cameron catch or CJ Williams or
you can go back and look. De'Ami Brown, right? De'Ami Brown at 227, Tim Patrick 187, Johnny Munt had 111, and then you get into the real ancillary stuff. Hunter Long 85, Quentin Morris 55, LaQuinn Allen 54, Austin Trammell 46, and then Tim Jones 15.
Well, here's the thing: either Trevor throws for $5,000, or we're probably a little too bullish on at least one of the receivers. Right? Maybe they all can you have 1,000-yard guy, a 950, and a 750 guy.
Maybe
I know
not.
it's been done. Like, back in the day, the Colts had 3,000-yard receivers on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Stokely, shout out. So let's see. What did that come to for me? 1950, 2,000, 2,700, 3,100, 3,600, 40. I got 4,200, not including all the other guys. 4,200 gets me the top 4 receivers, gets me Brenton Strange, gets me the running backs. And then between Borkature, Koziel, any random guy, throw 350 yards on the pile, something like that. So
Yeah,
I'm right around 4,500.
Yeah, I feel all right about the numbers I have it in when I look at it that way. If with the 6 guys that I put a specific number on with Thomas, Washington, Myers, Hunter, Strange, Tootin are the guys I put a number on, that's 3,950. Right, so it's 500 from basically the rest of the roster, and that feels very realistic to me, that the rest of the roster is going to be about that 500 range. And I don't feel like I'm going nuts, with any of those numbers for those guys. Like, I'm pretty confident about the kind of numbers that I put up with these guys. So that's right around where I think it's going to land.
All right, so here I got it down. I think I'm at 4,500.
Okay, what do you got?
There. So I dropped BT to 900.
900.
Just because I think you got to spread it out.
He got worse in the last 5
Because you turned into a hater in the last 2
Well, I didn't add the other guys, right?
900.
So I only had 5,
You got 900.
Right? I got P. Wash at 800.
All right, 1,700. We're
Yeah,
at.
Strange and Myers at 700. That's another
Each.
1,400. Yeah,
1,400. Okay,
and then I dropped Hunter to 500.
30 or at the 3,600, I think there.
Yep, 500 for the backs.
Okay,
and 400 for the additional tight ends and wideouts.
That gets you right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I think that's doable.
I think we're all in that same range.
Yeah.
Look, and again, provided they have reasonably good health.
Right.
It's kind of what we're talking about today. Will this team explode? Will this team be arguably the best, most dangerous offense? Now, granted, I get it. Jimmy and Keenan, you might prefer having a Jimmy and Keenan at the peak of their career than a 4 deep. But in terms of Trevor Lawrence having the option to go, I don't have to have one guy who's getting me 1,500 to 1,800 yards to have a super explosive offense.
Trevor's completion percentages accuracy has to improve for him to have a big year again, right? I mean, he could do it again at 60, but 60, 61%. If he could just get it up to like 65, 67.
You think a full year of Jacoby Myers' shorthandedness and the chemistry that's building. Right. So some of it's drops, some of it's missed timing and miscommunication. Some of it's misses, of course. He's going to make some bad throws. Every quarterback is. But interesting. We're all kind of in the same ballpark, and I don't think it's unreasonable. It's pretty easy to get there, actually.
I think so.
You can even go, look, Brian Thomas gets back to his rookie form. He's a 1,300-yard guy.
Yeah.
The way
catches,
Parker, Parker at 850, where he really only broke out for half a year, right? So, I mean, could he be an 1,100-yard guy? And Jacoby had more targets than Parker Washington did after he got here. So, The Athletic, very bullish on a Jaguar breakout. We'll tell you what they had to say about your favorite team when we return in a moment. And don't forget the question of the day out there, and we'll look through some of these replies later on in hour number 2. What level of accomplishment does this team need to hit for you personally to deem 2026 a successful season for the Jacksonville Jaguars on 1010XL 92.5 FM?
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors studios of 1010XL. He won 3 national titles at Miami. 3. Played in a Super Bowl with the Steelers. Super Bowl. And went to the Pro Bowl with the Jaguars.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Leon Searcy on XL Primetime. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us at 1010XL, you have a list of things you want to get done before football season begins. Make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the awesome man cave with a full bar. Closets by Design can customize the perfect entertainment space for you to gather for game days. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation, or visit closetsbydesign.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
It's here, Middleburg. Firehouse Subs is now open at the all-new Clay Town Center. Try the bold new steak and cheese melts, stacked with premium steak, melted cheese, and big flavor in every bite. Firehouse Subs at the Clay Town Center, open now.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Weather is as hot as can be, so think ahead. Get your backyard ready for football season with 15% off project. Plus, get an additional in-showroom discount for both flooring and enclosures just for visiting. Maximize your space and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. If you have the space and the idea, call them today. Showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on, temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry-fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Beach's Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here. Don't wait for the first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems when high winds come around. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to backyards. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida, because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwoods has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by AB Signs. A 3-run eighth flipped it to Durham as the Bulls rallied past the Jumbo Shrimp at 5-Star Ballpark. Jacksonville looks to bounce back tonight, and first pitch is set for 7:05. And at Nice, head coach Colin Drafts says high school training camp is all about setting the standard.
Raise the bar even farther, in June and July. We want to build off of what we were able to do in those early months.
At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 89 degrees at 11:04. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, pour one out for Bonnie Tyler.
There you go.
Who shuffled off this mortal coil yesterday. So
yes, she did. Left her mark.
Certainly this song is a memorable one from the 80s.
Let's get you fired up a little.
I love this song, man. It's a fantastic song. Yeah. All right, I want to get to the Athletic, okay? Here's what they said last year about your Jacksonville Jaguars. They did a piece on offenses ready to break out. And they list them in the kind of the order, because it's not alphabetical. They kind of list them in the order that they anticipate them breaking out, I believe. It was not an alphabetical listing. So last year, they said that this will be the year that quarterback Trevor Lawrence lives up to his draft billing. And then they put in Ducks. Like, I know we're going to get a lot of stones thrown at us for that. Right. But they went on, talked about all the different things that they have going on for him. Liam Cohen, architect of one of the most creative run games in the league with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they anticipated he would come in and help in that regard and make Trevor Lawrence's life easier with play action. Talked about the offensive line and what they had there. Interestingly, the biggest reason for optimism is receiver Brian Thomas Jr., who we know disappointed, right, from our expectations last year. And then they talked about Travis Hunter, theoretically. We'll see a lot of time at receiver and complement Thomas. And then added free agent signing De'Ami Brown has a chance to be a strong number 2 option. Brown was excellent in that role for the Commanders last year in the playoffs for like 2 games.
Yep.
He was excellent at it. But they were bullish. And the irony is, the offense took off. You only got a half season out of Travis Hunter. De'Ami Brown was a complete bust. Yep. Brian Thomas underperformed. And it was the emergence of Parker Washington, the addition of Jacoby Myers.
So they were right about the what, but just not the why.
Not the particulars. Which leads you to believe there's kind of some fruit left on the tree to even improve more. So this year, they did a piece, and this just came out this morning. 5 offenses positioned to break out in 2026. Number 1 at the top of the list is the Jaguars. And they say, look, we included them last year, and they did break out in the second half of the year, but they have a chance to make another significant ascension this season. I'm not going to go into all the particulars here because you could probably imagine what they are for yourself. But, again, we're talking about maybe the best 4 deep receiving core in the National Football League, an expanded role for Brenton Strange, just Trevor Lawrence paired up with Liam Cohen for another year in the system. It's all out there for
him. I think it's fun. We all reacted, obviously, at the end of last week, beginning of this week, with the F grade, right, for the offseason for the Jags. And then you get to the end of the week, and it's finally someone is actually matching the energy that exists within the fan base.
Yeah.
Why are Jaguars fans as confident as they are right now? All of this stuff that we've talked about on the show today. Right, the offensive infrastructure and that kind of comment right there. That's where the energy is right now in the franchise is. We feel really good about coaching quarterback. All the rest is just details. Like, that's how everyone seems to feel right now. And I don't think it's unfair to feel that way given what we saw for the back half of the season last year.
And it all seems like it's coming together at the same time. Like the public perception of it. Yeah. Like people are going, wait a minute.
Why'd they win 13 games?
Well, right, they did win 13 games after all, and we're done crapping on the fact that they took a tight end that we didn't like in the second round, who's probably not going to factor that big into the passing game anyway, other than as a physical presence, and the occasional reception.
It's ironic with that bumper music, I Need a Hero, because the Jag fans needed a hero last year, and with Liam Cohen and Trevor, they found one, right? Let me ask you guys this, because we've been down there all off season. Can't wait for camp, can't wait to look at them and see how they look out there. What is give me a percentage of your confidence level that Trevor picks up like right where he left off, and there's no more up and down, good 1 week, okay the next, really good for 3, but where it's all consistent.
80 to 85%.
Okay.
I was going to say 8 or 9. Yeah,
because you still have to do. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to have a great game every week.
I agree.
Right? You can have a couple of stinkers along the way, but it's not like stinker, or digging out of it, and a month and a half in, we're starting to get it. I don't think that. I think it'll be more of the, hey, man, we got this at our disposal. We learned a lot last year. You're not swimming mentally now, right? And
pre-snaps got it down.
The one thing, and the Athletic kind of wrapped with this, the running game has to produce in a Liam Cohen offense, and he has to be right, and James Gladstone and Tony Baselli have to be right about the willingness to let Travis Etienne walk and replace him with only Chris Rodriguez, basically, and how that works. Because they go on to say, look, if it doesn't happen, you make that offense one-dimensional, and do you put Trevor Lawrence back into a place where he feels like he's got to squeeze it into tight spaces and do all these things, and do past turnover issues become a problem for Trevor Lawrence?
Well, look, I think during that stretch of his really good playing, he kind of took over. The running game was okay at times. It was terrible at times, but his running was good. Like, there were games where he was leading the team in rushing, you know what I mean? Just different games because he just took over and let it rip and made some plays, whether it's with his arm or with his legs. I'm at like 80. He's got everything, and I just want to see it. Like, I'm a little bit cautious, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the 20%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
I think that's fair. Because I'm the same way. Like, it's only fair to be a little bit cautious because we've seen the slow starts a few times with Trevor and just incendiary second halves of the season. I feel like we're finally getting to the point. I was thinking today, it's tough to break down his contract, like by year, and when he signed it was 5 years, $275 million and all this kind of stuff. But I feel like we're finally going to have, for the next foreseeable future, the guy that contract, he is worthy of that deal.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the point we're at right now.
Well, look, my confidence, the 80% or whatever, comes from the fact that Liam fixed him last year, and that fix is a strong word, but changed his mechanics,
greatly,
improved his footwork, and even more importantly, unlocked him. The pre-snap. And what did Baker say when he left Tampa? He's like, it's going to help him in the pre-snap. That's what he makes it simpler for the quarterback to see what's going on, and that's more than half the battle.
Remember Grant Udinski this offseason?
Yeah.
This may be my favorite thing anybody said about the team this offseason. He's like, Trevor's out there calling a protection that we hadn't used since November.
Yep.
And everybody, Trevor, first of all, pulls it out, and everybody immediately knows what to do.
Yep.
And you don't have that learning curve.
That's right.
This time around.
That's why you should feel confident he is going to hit the ground running.
I do. Look, it's been delayed gratification, right? It looked like he was going to take off after 2022.
He did.
Then Doug Peterson gives up play calling, which I'll still never understand. And Trevor kind of treaded water a little bit.
He got into some bad habits.
Yeah.
Throwing off the back foot, the whirly bird to the left. There were things.
Would we all have liked Trevor to come into the league throwing 40 touchdowns immediately? Of course. But if you ultimately get that and you get whatever downs you had to go through, it resulted in flushing the system, bringing in Baselli, resetting the entire organization, and now Trevor's still only 26. He's not 32.
No, right. Yeah.
It's not like, man, we wasted all that prime. He's coming into his prime right now. So, yeah, I'm bullish, man. I mean, I feel like part of me wants to say 95, but I want to be not be crazy.
Well, I can't go 95 just because we have seen in the past, not just Jags, but, new coach, new system, the quarterback in it does really well that first year, second year, not as good because the other side has figured them out a little bit. Now, with him, Liam is a play caller, and the way he's ranked and should be, he's going to counteract that as well. That's part of the battle.
Got to have the personnel.
Oh, yeah.
But you also have to have the guys that are pulling the levers, and we'll tell you when we come back just how bullish Sports Illustrated is on some of those guys in the Jaguar organization, on that coaching staff, when we return in the moment. Tom McManus in on this Friday. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. There are moments in every life when we're faced with a choice that could change everything.
He's going for it. Great, glorious day.
Choose 1010XL.
Celebrate America's birthday with Kuhn Flowers in July. JJ LaSelva here. Purchase a dozen roses in any color for just $49.95. Just $49.95 for a dozen roses. Log on to KuhnFlowers.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Here's some advice I've learned over the years. The best time to fix something around your house is before it forces you to. Don't wait until your plumbing fails, your septic system backs up, or your AC quits on the hottest weekend of the summer. This month, Duck Rooter is making it easier to stay ahead of the problem. Save $250 on a whole home repipe or redrain, $50 on any septic service, and $500 on a new AC system. When you're stuck, call Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hi, I'm Blake Bortles. People know I've always said if I wasn't playing football, I'd probably be on a construction site. So Next Gen Roofing finally let me live the dream.
Blake, why are you wearing a red practice jersey?
Always worn it for safety.
Right. Well, around here, the red jersey means you're the new guy, so you're in charge of garbage cleanup.
Perfect. I love garbage time. Always excelled in it.
It's not exactly what I meant.
Good thing Next Gen Roofing has real pros handling everything from family homes to large commercial buildings. Next Gen, teamed up with you.
Teamed up with you.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's New York Pizza. If dinner seems expensive, come grab a pizza that's hot, fresh, and affordable. Feed the whole family without spending a ton. Tony D's New York Pizza. Easy, quick, and always a good call.
Good people drink good beer. And great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
All right, Tom McManus here. We get a lot done in terms of music. I'm been nailing it.
You were on fire.
You asked me something, and Randy Newman was the answer.
Yeah,
and
I
somehow
love LA.
I knew it. I love LA.
And then we got into short people.
Yeah, he's saying short people, which
is a satire for all you short people out there.
Yes, allegedly, right? Like there are songs like in our lifetime that you're like that could never
would
be
never
written
fly
today. That you would be canceled today.
Worse.
To be sure,
Buried.
that was Kenny Rogers and Kim Carnes because you were saying you confused Bonnie Tyler with Kim Carnes sometimes.
A little bit, yeah.
That's how it all ties
Kenny
together.
Rogers man, love songs. He good one. Back in the 80s.
Lady.
Yeah.
All right. Jaguar, got a pop quiz for you guys. This is not a super difficult one.
I love pop quizzes.
Only 4 answers.
With sports.
So you only get 1 strike. Okay?
Okay.
Only 4 total answers to this.
Jeez. Here we go.
Anthony Campanile and Grant Udinski each had head coaching interviews with 2 different teams this offseason. Need all 4 teams that those guys interviewed with this offseason. Buffalo. That's a good pull right there. That was Udinski.
That was Udinski.
Yep. Had a visit with the Buffalo. He had 2 interviews with the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
So that's those.
Ding, ding.
Campanile went. That's a good one.
If you get them both, I'll be impressed. I forgot about the one. I knew he did 2, but the one was very clear.
Atlanta?
Not Atlanta. There's your strike. Tony, you want to jump in and save him? Come on. RJ, feel free.
Arizona?
Arizona for Cats.
Oh.
The one I thought you would get with Campanile. Arizona interviewed, by the way, and there's not a shot at Anthony Campanile. They interviewed like a dozen guys. They interviewed a ton of guys. But who's the other team?
I want to say Baltimore.
Good man. There you go.
Okay.
You pulled it off, right? With only the one strike. If you're 2 primary coordinators, with apologies to Heath Farwell, we love you.
Yeah.
And we always lavish praise on you on this program. If they're both getting multiple head coaching interviews, they're probably pretty good, right? SI.com's best offensive, defensive coordinator combos in the National Football League. I'll spare you the preliminaries. Jaguars 3rd overall.
Okay.
And we know Heath Farwell's as good as they come on special teams.
Throw that in.
Talk about that coordinator level. You add that to Liam Cohen's prowess as a play caller and just as a motivator as well.
Oh, yeah.
Getting it out of guys. Jags come in 3rd overall. Offensive rank and defensive rank, both 11th in the league last year overall. Said Liam Cohen not too upset about his guys missing out on head coaching jobs. Neither am I.
No.
Congrats for the interest.
Yep.
Udinski's lack of experience probably hurt him in the hiring cycle, but he's got a strong resume, including his role as a valuable asset with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Also unlocked another level in Trevor Lawrence's game, learned to utilize more of his weapons, on and on. So just a bunch of praise there. Campanile quickly gained attention for his aggressive approach, helping the Jags get off to a fast start, accumulating 31 takeaways, second most in 2025. Cohen will likely lose his coordinators if they continue winning in Jacksonville.
Probably next year if you have another big year.
They've got some in-house potential replacements. But I was looking at it from this standpoint, and maybe they just do have the guys that they're looking at and saying, that's kind of who I'm leaning into.
Yep.
Oftentimes, when you're the hot shot, young offensive guy, you're not going to take the job where you're not going to get to call the plays, right? And Udinski maybe wasn't the hot shot guy. He was just the really great mind. But now you look and you say, wait a minute, Grant Udinski in 1 year not calling plays got interviews with the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns?
Right.
Why wouldn't any young upcoming passing game coordinator want a shot to coach under Liam Cohen for a couple of years as a stepping stone,
Right. So does he eventually call plays in the NFL, or does he say, you know what, I'm just going to be the overseer and I'll bring in the right coordinator? Because I'm assuming
who eventually call plays?
Grant Udinski. Not necessarily here, but say he gets
a head coaching gig.
Yeah,
I would think
he's going to say it's my offense. We're going to run my offense.
Wouldn't you like?
But would you have confidence? He's never done it or doesn't.
Sure.
Do it. Now maybe he does some this year. Like Liam gives him some shots at it. Does that? affect,
his ability to land that job. Is that
to
what you're
land
saying?
the job. It wouldn't be for me because I
gotcha.
want to see him as a leader of men, not just his offense, right? And then he's going to bring in the offense.
It's a fair question because Liam was a play caller, right? And so he came in, and being a first-time coach, there's a lot of responsibilities maybe that you don't understand. But I feel almost like Udinski is in the Liam Cohen school of let's figure this out together. Like Liam Cohen probably had ideas about what it took to be a head coach.
Kind of like an old lineman coach who becomes a head coach, right? You just like him because of the way he handles the men and how he leads them and gets them ready, that kind of thing.
It is an aspect you cannot overlook, but I think Udinski's calling card is just his offensive mind.
Yeah,
right.
And how he does quarterbacks. I mean, you got to give him credit for Darnold and for Trev.
And so, I would expect he's going to get a lot of opportunity in the preseason to call plays for this team. But how much are you going to run your frontline guys out there? So who knows? I don't know. It's an interesting question. Look, I hope Grant Udinski and Anthony Campanelli hang around for a while, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
But, odds are they're going to lose at least one of them.
Yeah.
It depends how. Yeah, I mean, he keeps
as long
winning.
as they have
That's
a good year. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, let's get our man Fan Cam up on the line. He loves to check in on a Friday with Tom McManus. Cam, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just wanted to compliment my co-GM on his brilliance this morning for the incredible thoughts he had on how to design your show. Well done, Tommy.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Cam.
And a follow-up, did any of you guys have a 1,000-yard receiver in the numbers you just went through?
I had 1,000 for Brian Thomas.
I did too.
Yeah, I dropped him, though, I think, to 900. I had him at 1,200 that he dropped.
That was a decent recalculation, Tommy. Nice pivot. Just wanted to say, let me put the number at about 51 to 5,200 for Trevor, and we're going to have 2,000-yard receivers on the team this year. In fact, for that matter, I'd be disappointed if Brenton Strange didn't average 60 yards a game, and that would put him a little over 1,000 himself. So anyway, just wanted to chime in. You guys have a great weekend, and we're getting close to Chile. And go Jags.
All right,
Go
brother.
Jags.
Have anotly big gulp of that Kool-Aid while you're at it. 2,000-yard receivers and Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
Brenton Strange
5,200
getting
yards.
60 a week. I don't see that happening.
And chili is in the food, not the weather.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kittle, you said, what, 57 a game?
Trevor's high is 4,100. I'm not adding 1,000 to that total this year. Again, this team wants it's kind of middle of the pack-ish in terms of how often they pass the ball compared to how often they run the ball. And Liam Cohen's going to stick with that. And you can say, well, what if the running game doesn't work? They have to lean on Trevor more. Well, that may make it harder for the passing game to be effective.
Right.
Keep in mind, he threw for 4,000 last year with nobody over 847.
Right.
So you don't have to have 3 1,000-yard receivers. Now, Cam's going 5,200 yards. So
Well, and 4,000 is like 220 a game, roughly.
Yes.
It's not like you're whipping it around 300 yards a game in that with that number.
But I think, we're all sitting here going 45, 4,600. That's a significant step forward.
Well, just think about that. 300 yards a game gets you the 5,100. So I don't don't think they want that, right? I mean, they'll take it if it comes their way.
If it comes
naturally.
naturally.
They want more of a balance.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, 5,000-yard season is still pretty rare.
Yeah.
In the NFL. It's become more commonplace.
Yeah.
Are we underselling Travis Hunter's numbers in this offense?
I was talking about it yesterday in helmets and heels. Like, how realistically, all right, so he's a full-time corner, let's just say. How many plays is he going to get on offense? 5 to 10 a game? Wouldn't he anyways? I mean, it's not like he's going to be the number one guy, I don't think.
They're going to have plenty of 2 receiver sets if they have 2 tight ends. And does that mean is he putting 2 of Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers on the bench? I don't know.
No, right.
Right. So it's
I don't know how many snaps
but
he get
as
anyway.
I said, 400, I'm like, it's like 25 a game for 16 weeks, right?
Yeah, couple plays, couple end of rounds, he's got it.
That's almost nothing.
Right.
Well, the end of rounds wouldn't count in the passing.
That's
yards,
true.
But either way,
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I'll just win. We're kind of, we're in that point in the season or the off season where we're trying to break down all these different angles of how we're going to get there. In the end, Trevor throws for 3,700, and the Jags win 12 games in the AFC South.
That's great.
Is that enough, though, to deem this year a success? That's today's question of the day. So let's debate it when we come back here in a moment. What level of accomplishment does this team need to have this year for you to say, absolutely, that season's a success if they do nothing more than that? So what's the bare minimum they need to get to? We'll go around the table on that a few times, and we'll also take a look at some of your responses to the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. And interesting, I think I have higher expectations than a lot of the responses that we got today. So let's talk about that when we come back in a moment. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for DraftKings, live in all 50 states. Of course, that includes the great state of Florida. Win or go home. That's where we're at, the World Cup knockout round, and DraftKings has you covered for every single match because the DraftKings app is now live in Florida. So no matter what time those games are kicking off, no matter how you're catching them and taking them in, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up using code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim, issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. There's an energy and drama to play-by-play sports.
This crowd, a big factor.
You never know what's going to happen.
Wow!
Feel the energy on 1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Peaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at peachesdermatology.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds with as much as 40% off everything in the store. Maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. You can do it now and save as much as 40% off Beard's already unbeatable prices. And don't forget, Beard's is the town center's locally owned diamond superstore. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July. Save up to 40% exclusively at Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, we'll split the golden moment A between the Friday crew all here together for the first time in feels like a while, but
feels good.
Probably at least a month. And B, just the general feeling of optimism we're seeing from outside of Duval County for this Jaguars offense. That's not to say the defense and special teams are not going to potentially be good as well, but it's been a lot, all season's an F. Well, what do they have to work with? The raw material is pretty good. Forget how they acquired it. Look at it right now.
Yep.
And, offensive infrastructure, top 6 in the league, number 1 in the AFC, number 1 offensive breakout candidate, according to The Athletic, number 3 overall in offensive and defensive coordinator combination in the league. A lot of positivity right there. So anyway,
That's what happens when you win 13 games, right? And then you back it up with another strong performance, and next thing you know, we'll be in those rankings every year until we're not.
So we'll get to today's question of the day here in a moment. But first, let's take a look at those other less fortunate teams around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Arizona quarterback Jacoby Brissett posted a photo of himself working out with several teammates in South Florida this week, including tight end Trey McBride, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., among others, with the caption, "Great week with the guys." Brissett skipped all of the Cardinals' voluntary workouts this offseason, did report for mandatory minicamp as he continues to seek a pay increase on the $5.44 million he's set to earn this season there with Arizona. Washington has announced that they will be retiring Hall of Fame running back John Riggins, number 44, during their Week 9 game against the LA Rams. Riggins will be the 7th player to have their number retired in Washington, joining Sonny Jurgensen's 9, Sean Taylor's 21, Darrell Green's 28, Sammy Baugh's 33, Bobby Mitchell's 49, and Art Monk's 81. The Jaguars have only retired one number. That would be Tony Baselli's 71, which was retired on October 9th, 2022, during a Week 6 game here against Houston.
From my perspective, Riggins known primarily for 2 things. 4th and 1 against Miami in the Super Bowl. Took it to the house like 44 yards or whatever. It might 40-ish. It might have been
around there.
I think it was in the 44 is his uniform number, so
but it was
that's
somewhere
the number
around
I got in my
midfield,
head.
from what I remember.
Yeah, something like that. And lighten up, Sandy, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You met Sandra Day O'Connor, Supreme Court Justice, at a party.
Yeah.
Told her to lighten up. And then apparently years later, they're at an event together. He brought her a bouquet of flowers to kind of.
I was looking at all that stuff yesterday, just with that being a story.
Yeah.
Teams are all over the place when it comes to retiring numbers. Cincinnati has never retired Munoz's number.
Really?
Yeah, you would think that's.
Wow.
They've only retired one number. I forget who it is, but they've only retired one number. And then there are teams like
so they
Chicago.
actually have retired a number.
Yeah, Forrest
but not
Craig,
Munoz.
I bet you.
I bet you're right.
Like
That's
that.
a good pull by you,
Thank you. I was trying to
McManus.
think, like, who could that be?
But it's like Chicago has like 19 numbers. I think the Giants have like 19 numbers. Like there's teams that have that. Pittsburgh has retired 3. And it was 2 members of that. It's all members of the defense. Like it's, and I think it's 2 members on the defense and Franco are the only numbers that they've retired. So like Bradshaw's number didn't get retired by the Steelers.
You're right.
Like the Hall of Fame isn't even good enough to get your number retired in some places.
Right. Well, 12's a good one to not have to use.
Not Forrest Craig.
New England
Not
just,
Forrest Craig.
Yeah, New England just retired Tommy's 12.
Oh, that's right.
Only one officially retired number, although they refrained from reissuing Munoz's 78 and Ken Anderson's 14. Center Bob Johnson is number 54. So you have an offensive lineman's number retired, and it's not Anthony Munoz.
Wow. That's crazy.
All right. I mean, look, Bob Johnson was probably blocking the hell out of people in the 70s. I don't know.
Those backs like Riggins and Zonka and Frank, they were big backs, man. Like 6. Like, you see Zonka at the J Fund, and now, granted, he's 80 years old, but you're like, you're big. I can't believe you were like a fullback / running back. Like, you see Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen's like 6'4". You're like, Dang,
cow,
that
yeah.
is just a big. Eddie George was big. There's other big backs. Don't get me wrong, but I love seeing those old timers, and because all they did was pound the rock.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was
And
when
it was
they were
all
just-
about physical, and now it's like all run away from everybody.
It spread you out and
I get
score
it.
touchdowns, right?
The league has changed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. RJ sent me this clip. It's been going around. Just a screenshot from some predictions of folks over at NFL.com.
Okay.
On what the Jaguars' record would be this year. That was just kind of prompted the question of the day about what level of success you think is the bare minimum for the Jags this year. Colleen Wolfe went with 10-7.
Okay.
Nick Shook went with 13-4 again. Good for Nick. Lance Zierlein went with 10-7. Grant Gordon went with 8-9.
Yikes.
Dan Parr went with 9-8. Brooke Kersozimo, I don't know, but, whatever, 9-8. And then Bucky Brooks, Bucky's going to come in on 15 on the scale. 15-2. 11-6.
Okay.
So, but pretty wide range of outcomes there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'd love to hear how you think they're going to get to fall down to 8. But then again, look,
it happened to Detroit.
We have many an off season, Tony. We've been doing this show, and Tom, you as well, where we're like, they're so wrong. The over-under is 6.5, and you're taking the under. What are you doing?
Right.
And then the Jags win 4 games, and you're like, damn.
It's pro sports. It'll kick you in the teeth quick.
Yeah,
All right. So, Tom, for you, what level of accomplishment does this team need to have? Bare minimum, and you'll say, no matter what else, the year was a success.
Get in the playoffs.
Get to the playoffs.
Now, because anything can happen in the playoffs. I want them to win and go further.
But your bare minimum is just make the playoffs.
If you don't make the playoffs, it's an unsuccessful year in my opinion.
If you make the playoffs, no matter what the outcome,
it's still
a successful year.
Then it can be more than, you know what I mean?
Okay, but
so
that's
make
the
minimum
playoffs
for me.
you. Tony, what is it for you?
Yeah, I made a list and I kind of ranked it as far as bottom to top.
Okay.
But I do think make the playoffs is the one that makes the most sense to me. Right, because then it doesn't factor in exactly what the matchup's going to be at that point. It doesn't factor in whether or not you win the division necessarily. Like, it takes a lot of the things that I think are much more in play for whether or not they get it done. Like, if we're talking bare minimum, I can call it a success going in kind of thing. I do think making the playoffs is kind of that bar for me. If they don't make the playoffs, then I'm like, the season was bad.
My bar is higher. It's advance in the playoffs. Okay. And now, if you're the number one seed, and that's not advancing.
No,
You got to win a playoff game, okay? And because if you're the number one seed, you automatically advance, but you're getting the home game. So to me, like if you
that's
make
a
it,
conference title game appearance.
Like,
if they're the number one seed, then conference title game.
If they're the number one seed, but it's and I debate it. Like this is a 13-win team. We feel pretty good. Yeah, they lost Devin Lloyd. Yeah, they lost Travis Etienne, but we feel pretty good about what's left over and what internal improvement can come. We matched up great with Denver last year, blew them out. New England looked not
Very
good,
beatable.
right? Very beatable. And so I almost went with AFC Championship game appearance, with this team. I just, to me, if they make the playoffs and it's another one and done and they're out, I'm going to look back and say this is a disappointing year.
The way I could see that, and then I just think, like, look, when's the last time we've done back-to-back playoff appearances?
98, 99.
Okay, but do we need to compare them to the 90s?
No, I'm just saying that then next year, right, the third year would be what you're saying, at least from my perspective, right? Because, look, what now here's the thing. What if they go 10-7 but don't make the playoffs for whatever reason? You know what I mean?
Then they weren't one of the top 7 teams in the conference.
Right.
And that would be disappointing to me. And that would not be successful.
Which is below the bar.
Fair.
That's why
fair.
I put it
right.
at make
They
the
were
playoffs.
a blown referee's call from being the number one seed in the AFC last year. The number one seed.
Yeah.
And so if you, for whatever combination of reasons, now, barring injury. Okay, injury can change, right? But we're presuming no one team has hit more than any other.
Like you said, how are they dropping 5 games? Now, it can happen. You know it can happen. I mean, Detroit won, 15-2
You're
to
saying
9
how are
and
they
8.
backing up 5 games?
No,
Not how
like
are they losing 5, but how are they going from 13 to 8?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, how do they lose 5 more games? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's tough.
Yeah,
for me to envision. But then again, as I said,
it's happened
We're
before.
close to it. We've got suckered in before. I've not had this level of confidence in any Jaguar head coach since Tom Coughlin was ruling the roost. I have this incredible level of confidence that Liam Cohen is going to push the right buttons, pull the right levers, and get the guys in the right position
and
to win.
hold everybody accountable. That's the key, and they'll do it. They'll do it. Baselli, James, and Liam, and the whole staff, they're going to make sure these guys earn everything, keep their head on straight, and win ball games. They coach them hard, man. You see it when you watch them. They continue to coach them hard, so they got a lot to prove this year.
All right, we'll come back. We'll look at some of the responses we got to this question and see where fans' minds are in terms of the Jaguars, what they need to do to have them satisfied that this year will at least be successful. Obviously, the ultimate success, well, there's only one team that gets that every single year. It doesn't mean you didn't have a successful year if you don't win it all, though that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I don't think the goal in the room should be let's make the playoffs. The goal in the room is let's go win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, that's the goal. But that doesn't mean, as we look as outside observers, that we can't say that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, what they did took another step towards it. All right, we'll wrap it up on the other side here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey gang, Prosser here. The Open Championship is upon us. And you know, you think of the Open, you think of the weather, and you think of maybe a hoodie. Nah, it's not the exact same kind of hoodie you will need at the Open, but the hoodie collection at Live Forever Golf is outstanding. I've become a hoodie guy. The lightweight, they make them a bunch of different ways. Right now, the Practice Clubhouse hoodie tee is salt washed, makes it butter soft. For that and everything else golf related, it's Live Forever Golf and liveforevergolf.com.
When the world turns its attention to the beautiful game, the most passionate fans know the best seat in the house isn't always in the stadium. Modelo celebrates football and the world of nations playing for the cup. 48 teams, 104 games. Wherever you choose to watch, make it the best seat in the house with a Modelo Especial in hand. It's time to play for the World Cup.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the Checkmate King.
The two most important factors behind a great garage floor coating are the preparation and the application.
So we prepare every floor with high-performance diamond grinding pads. But just ugly diamonds, right, Brendan? If we find any nice ones, I could use some crown jewels.
Sorry, Chester. Our special grinding pads use diamonds that are too ugly for jewelry.
But they create the perfect surface to bind with our multi-layer polymer coating for years of durable performance.
You'll have to pick out jewelry on your own time, Your Highness.
The term is Your Majesty, Brendan, but I'll let it go this time.
Perfect preparation?
Check. Expert application?
Check. A gorgeous new floor that sparkles like a diamond in your garage? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
It's almost time to kick off the 2026 season at the bank. Whether you want to be at the center of it all as a season ticket member, lock in 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or cheer on the Jags at your most anticipated matchup, There's a way for everyone to be a part of the action. Seating is limited, so don't wait. Secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Number 55 in the middle, he's Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
So RJ Saunders put this in front of us just in the last 30 minutes. Adam Schefter tweeting out, former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold is in some legal issue right now. Took a physical in Houston yesterday with the Texans, scheduled to visit 2 more teams next week, according to sources. And you're at first glance, you're like, Lions, you almost have to cut him, right? If you're the Lions, right? Because the PR hit that comes with it.
Too much, yeah.
You're some other team that picks him up. You're like, well, why wouldn't you give him a second chance? You know, and so you're almost screwed if you're the team that has him. Tony looked up the passer rating against Tone. What was it, the 2 years?
His rookie year, 93.7. Last year was 101.5. And you can see the snap count numbers, too. He went from 91%, and he missed one game his rookie year, still played 91% of the snaps in the games he was available, to 65% last year in Detroit.
So
they were just pulling him off the field.
Look, I don't know. You know how it is. When a guy leaves your team, you're like, oh, that guy was never any good anyway, right? You lose the guy in recruiting. We didn't want that guy. There's somebody around these parts that says that every year. But anyway, the Lions fans on social media were like, good, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
With
that kind of stat, I can see why they would say that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's accurate, right. And stats don't always tell the whole story.
So
but
maybe it was an easy way to cut him.
100
he's a
quarterback
first-round
rating
pick, right?
against.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just 2 years ago. All right, so here are some of the minimum level of accomplishments that people put forth today. Many of them agreed with you. Just get to the playoffs. That's what JagFan15 said. I don't think we've been to back-to-back since the late 90s. That is correct. Win the division and at least one playoff game, said Mike. Okay. What if you don't win the division and you win a playoff game?
Right. I've said it before. I think Houston's going to win the division, but we get in as a wild card.
Okay. Let's see. A successful season is shutting up the national media with their 8.5 win total for this team. I'm taking the way over that prediction. So are you saying
they'll never shut
that
up, buddy.
if they win 9, is that successful? Because that's the over. I mean, by the way, we just ran through a list of 6 or 7 people on NFL.com, and all but one picked them to go over the win total.
10 plus,
So I don't know if I feel like yes, they trashed the offseason. That doesn't mean they're trashing this team's chances necessarily.
Right.
Another one here from Miguel. Let's see. AFC South champs and AFC championship game. Hoping for a Super Bowl win, of course. So that's a high bar right there. Doom said, I know this isn't some great feat, but for me, another division title. Okay. Like
winning the division.
What if they don't win the division and they win a playoff game? Again, that's better. But whatever. At least a playoff win from RJ, not our RJ, but would love to see them in the AFC Championship game. That's where I'm at right there. Like, at least a playoff win. Advance in the playoffs. Chris, win the division. But this is going to be a tough season. We haven't added much on paper. I think people are underestimating how much of a disadvantage it is playing on the road so much. 6 true home games is rough. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, it's a valid point. Eric just making the playoffs. Ed said success is winning a playoff game. Failure is missing the playoffs. So making it and not winning. I mean, look, could there be a scenario where you're like, man, they got robbed, or they played so great and it just yes, but I don't think
there's just so many scenarios in play that it's hard to be definitive you know, with those kind of categories. So it's when you're trying to make a definitive claim on what do I consider a success or failure before the season starts, you got to find something that doesn't have a whole lot of that wiggle room in it. Right? Like make the playoffs. There's not a lot of wiggle room. You did or you didn't. You know, eventually wind up in the playoffs.
Again, for me, it's win a playoff game because a lot of people are saying divisional round. But again, what if you're the number one seed, which they were an eyelash from being, and then you lose? Is that, you know, like, great that you had the best record in the AFC.
No, but if you didn't get better than last year, you can't say it's more of a success.
If you get bounced right away, I don't think that's going to leave us feeling too good. Let's worry about that when we get there, I suppose. All right, the weekend is upon us, and it's time for XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hello, Josie.
I just checked out as soon as you said the weekend is upon us. I'm done.
He's done. He's done. He started drinking 5 minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen.
Get into it.
What do you define as minimum? If you say if the Jags do this, it's a successful season, no matter what else happens.
Return to the postseason.
Just make it to the playoffs.
And the reason I say it, and that's probably, I think people want more than that, but this team has not made back-to-back postseason appearances since the 90s.
Understood.
Not in the 21st century.
Right, what if they're the 7th seed and they lose by 21? They made the playoffs.
You're right. It will. At that point, you come in that Monday, you're like, that was a disaster. That was a fail. That was this. That was that.
We're going to feel it's a failure no matter when if they get eliminated.
But I just simply say, become a perennial playoff team.
All right.
Yeah, that's really how I view this.
I do too.
Because that signals a departure from bad. A culture has been created. No
one-hit wonders.
Yes, a new consistency instead of, hey, we're real consistent. We keep missing the playoffs. Now you need to start making it on a regular.
Right. And Tom brought up the point, what if they win 10 games and don't make the playoffs? Well, that means they're not one of the top 7 teams in the entire conference.
Yeah.
So
that's
no
bueno.
You know, that's not enough for me. Like, just win the 10 games and what have you. Look, if they go 9-8 and they make the postseason, they win a couple games, that's a hell of a good right?
Yeah,
I mean, so if whether they win the division or not, of course we want to hang another divisional banner, but we got our eyes on bigger banners than that, Joe C.
Like the Texans last year, they finished behind Jacksonville. They had to go on the road, but they caught a bad Pittsburgh team and they won a football game.
Right.
And then they ended up looking better because of that, because they had a playoff win.
But then they had to play that game, and now we remember the 4 picks by C.J. Stroud, too, so there's that.
And they have more questions, obviously, because of their quarterback, but at the same time, it's weird. This team was better than them and did not win a playoff game. That team won a playoff game.
Man, imagine.
Well, they split.
Yeah.
Head-to-head, they split.
And I just mean record-wise.
No, record-wise. And from a Houston perspective, like we saw New England play 2 more playoff games after they did what they did to Houston, and we were like, well, they beat a beat-up Denver team, and then they just got smashed in the Super Bowl. Were they any good?
Right.
The Houston was just so bad offensively.
And beat a bad C.J. Stroud.
Right.
Exactly.
If the ref doesn't blow the call on Travis Hunter in the Cincinnati game, and the Jags don't blow a 19-point lead with 16 and a half minutes to go, they're 15-2, and the narrative is like,
insane.
Can anybody match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah. As it's already been said, they're the least talked about 13-4 team, probably in NFL.
Although we highlighted today, there are a lot of the athletic SI. There's starting to be a little bit of a groundswell to like, this team could really have something going on there. So
because if anything, give them an F for the offseason. Just the fact they have these coaches all coming back and everything.
Now, we made that point a minute ago. Like, you can have an F for the offseason, but okay, how good is the team?
Yeah.
Right? Did you need to do, as John Shipley wrote a great piece about, okay, they didn't splash money around, so you're going to give us a bad grade. Yep. That's basically what it boils down to. What's coming up?
We'll definitely get into a little Jag talk, especially when we're kind of following this, but then also college football. They've got a bunch of things coming out of the first Big 12 meetings, and then we've got the ACC meetings. Anyway, we'll be doing a bunch of college football talk. Matt is coming back from an infectious disease that we think we need to talk about.
Oh, no.
And that'll do it for us.
That is spreading across
Jaguars
the nation.
Today.
Oh, no.
All right. I think this may not be as bad as we think it is. All right. Joe, have a great show and a good weekend. Tommy Mack, good to see you.
Likewise.
Tony, have a good week off.
Thank you, sir.
Next week.
Yeah, Tone. Rock and
quick
roll.
programming note for the folks out there. John Shipley in studio with me on Monday.
Nice.
Jamal St. Cyr back for another Tuesday Top 5.
Nice.
We'll see about Wednesday. And then Thursday, the rare sighting of Brian Sexton in studio for the full show with me. And then Tommy Mack will be back next week. as well.
Might as well say congratulations to Demetrius and the family. The
Good call,
little
man.
one was born yesterday as well.
Yeah, we congratulated him on social
Congrats.
media, but that's an excellent call. I'm glad
Awesome.
you didn't forget that. The baby has arrived safely, so all the
Nice.
best. For
Nothing
all
better.
the aforementioned and RJ Saunders, of course, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Later days.